Hello and welcome back to another session of One in the Spirit. This is a program where we talk to very interesting people and groups in Orleans United Church. And today I have got a very special treat for you. We're going to be talking with Kim Gratton, who is the church administrator here at the church. But before I do, I just want to thank all of you who have been sending in your notes and comments and suggestions. I really do appreciate them, so keep them coming, and you'll see some of the results of that coming up in the future. But now I'd like to welcome Kim to us here and being with us, and thank you very much for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me.
So Kim, you've been here for a while. Where did you come from originally? Where were you born?
I was born in Toronto, but I moved around a bit as a child and moved to Ottawa just before I turned 7. So basically I'm an Ottawa girl.
How long have you been at Orleans United Church?
Depends on what you're counting from, but I started full-time permanent in September of last year, so just a little over a year.
And where were you before that?
I worked at Queenswood United Church as the office administrator there for 8 years.
So what brought you to Orleans United Church?
Well, luck really. I happened to be at a meeting with Jean Shattuck, who was looking for someone to replace her while she was in Arizona for a few weeks. And so I had experience as an office administrator, so I said I could do it. And then I did it again the following year, and then when she retired, it seemed a natural thing to apply to Orleans.
So what's a typical day like for you?
First, there's no such thing as a typical day. But usually I start by checking emails and responding to whatever needs action. Answer the phone a lot. There's usually a dozen or more phone calls in any day. Tuesday we have staff meetings, so that takes up about half the day usually, preparing for services and just organizing the spiritual life of the church. Thursdays is bulletin day, so that's when we print all the bulletins and we print the life and work pages and get all that sort of thing done. Mondays and Fridays I just try to get caught up with all the things that didn't happen the other days of the week.
And of course you also have to organize and schedule for events that take place here?
Yes.
Outside of our normal worship?
Yes, and there's a lot of events that take place. It's a very, very busy church. We have 12 rooms that we can rent out, and very often they are 5 or 6 or 7 of them will be rented on any given day.
Boy, oh boy, yes, I know we are very busy here, because I was going to ask you, how many events do you think we have here at any time?
We have, I'm not even sure of the numbers really, but every weeknight except for Wednesday, every weeknight except Wednesday is occupied. The Scouts are here on Monday night, and they're in the entire church basically. The mornings are filling up. We have a Tai Chi class starting in February, so they're here 3 mornings a week, or they will be here 3 mornings a week. And then we have birthday parties, we have wedding receptions, meetings of various different kinds.
And you do all that scheduling for all of these different events that are going on, trying to keep us in check.
It's quite a job too.
Yeah, and our weddings and funerals and other celebrations are all part of what you do.
Yes. Weddings are easy because they're usually a year or more in advance, and so they're easy to schedule. Funerals are a little trickier because they usually come within a few days. Someone will call on Tuesday and want a funeral on Friday, and then I have to figure out how to best clear the schedule for the funeral to happen.
Of course, you have support with those aspects of it as well.
Yes, I do. We work in a team, the ministers and I, and Scott as well, work in a team to best try and organize the place.
So have there been any moments here that have been amusing for you?
Oh, I can't think of anything specific, but the people who come in all have a good sense of humor. Hardly anyone. There's no sourpusses here. So we often laugh a lot. Staff meetings we laugh a lot, which is really nice.
Any special moments that you remember?
Well, yeah, I had one just a couple of weeks ago. Jan Weatherston, who headed up the bazaar, brought me flowers to say thank you for
Isn't that nice?
the work that I did beforehand. So that was really nice.
Oh,
So,
well, that's really great.
yeah.
Well, Kim, thanks very much for doing this with us today. I really appreciate hearing about what you do here and your perspective on keeping control on what's going on in this church. Really appreciate it with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us today, and we'd like you to know that if you want to get more information about what you heard today, you can certainly give us a contact at the coordinates that will be shown shortly. And of course, if you have any suggestions or comments to make, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being with us.
Orleans United Church, Kim speaking.